Right, so I have returned once again today to actually deliver a stream of Revolutionary Girl Utena. That's it, as I always say. Are we good? Are good to go. So yes, we have retouched actually episode 25 of Utena. Was episode 26 then? Maybe 27 as well, who knows? Depends on how the world goes, they say. So anyway, yes, they actually are covering the start of Arc 3. We left off last, we actually completed the Black Rose saga. Actually was pure Kino, I must admit. That was Kuhara delivering the Kino firsthand. I was like, bruh. God, the last couple episodes were like, they were good. That was good. They were brilliant, I must say. It's one of those things that I don't know whether or not Soji's arc actually does in theory go into the whole entire like manufacturedness of the entirety of Utena itself, because there is this area of kind of like possible what's the word, like analysis there, because as we've actually kind of established way back in the first arc of the anime, there was this idea that a lot of the time the bride just follows the actual person that's actually kind of, I guess, to a degree, controlling them, if you kind of view it that way. So, to that end, the actual things that Anthe says in the first arc, it's only because Utena's actually saying it to her for her to say, rather than actually her having her own agency. So then the second arc actually delves into the whole entire idea quite perfectly. The idea of like the agency of this character. Is what they have actually true? And that kind of thing. I kind of like that whole entire aspect. I like aspects like that in anime and manga as well. It's not something that's actually always explored because it kind of delves into the meta-ness of the entire thing, because then it's like, well, actually, Yute's actually a character in an anime. So you kind of then understand that is it Kuhara looking at him himself writing Utena, rather than actually like something like that. That's the kind of thing that I get from the previous arcs, why I like it a lot, because it does kind of delve into that. Again, thank you so much as well. Thank you. It's really kind of you to do. Thank you. I send you my love as well. There we go. If that's actually where my heart is, I don't know. But thank you so much for the donation as well. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, there's arguments to be made about the arc. I stand by the idea that it's actually an examination of Utena as a person, and actually then as a person in the show as well, whether or not everything she has is actually kind of true. But again, it's one of those things is led to interpretation. So anyway, it's actually put on Twitter actually watching Utena. So yeah, anywho, let's get the show started. Let's actually start this thing in 3, 2, 1. Let's start this thing absolutely now. To get rid of the actual pop-up screen on Funimation. But yeah, I don't know. I need to read a bit more into the whole entire Black Rose saga, because I don't know whether or not I'm actually the only one that's actually kind of viewing it that way. Whether or not I'm only overanalyzing it. Because it's one of those things that there's lines that Shoji actually says, you kind of like, I see what you're doing there. Are you doing that though? That's the thing yet to be seen. Also, the actual amazing thing about the whole entire arc, it actually is just filler. It's a filler arc in an anime that's otherwise still kind of like everything's canon. And I kind of respect that show. I respect the show for doing that, because again, filler arcs tend to kind of be boring and stupid. Somehow Kuhara delivers one of the best or the best filler arc in anime, I think. Granted, I can't really remember that many filler arcs in anime, to be honest, besides, yeah, this one only, really. Hello! So yeah, do you actually kind of wonder what Arc 3 will deliver? Whether or not it probably will deliver the Kino still. I still think Kuhara is still writing that Kino right now. But it's one of those things that I respect the show for what it does. It does things really well. It explores things that otherwise aren't explored that often. I mean, I guess nowadays you kind of do see it a bit more than back in the day, but I kind of respect the show for actually looking at stuff you don't see all that often way back in the 90s. They do be in the card though. See, Tochi's actually doing well though now as well. He's not kind of lamenting losing. This show is like pure aesthetic though when you think about it. The show is like pure aesthetic. It's kind of hot in that way when you think about it. Like, man, I want to live there. Shit happens, it's not so great, but I want to live there. It's pleasing. The man answers the door so coolly as well. Also notice this whole entire place is so goddamn big. Like, in comparison to people, this place is humongous. It's like, bruh. It's so large. I think I actually could fly a plane in there. Okay, do we actually write off the idea that Nanami actually became a cow at one point? I do be a mood. I do be a mood though. He broke free. He broke free. Choo-Choo actually was stuck inside the actual vacuum for so long, he actually broke free. Oh! Seaweed boy! Evil seaweed boy. Evil seaweed boy. That ball was getting so goddamn close. The impressiveness of that whole entire scene is the fact that Mickey actually wasn't hit. At all. I appreciate behind them having a conversation about the actual plot of the anime. It's a fucking baseball game going on. Sanji's kind of like, wait a minute, yeah, hold it. We're not actually getting our own. We're not getting a prize out of this, out, are we? It's all bullshit. Realizes like what, 20th episodes in. Oh god, I dropped my water. I dropped my water on the floor. Lucifer. do find it a bit sus that it constantly cuts back to Anthe, though. Some say that Akio just sits there the entire time. It's like he just doesn't move. His whole entire purpose of the anime is just sitting and looking cool. That's an interesting bed. So if you actually kind of hello. So if you actually kind of turn over an awkward angle, you kind of just fall down. Ohio gozaimasu. Genki desu ka? Ooh. God damn it, every single time. Then we actually will get a Seaweed Boy redemption arc as well. Kind of want the bed as well, to be honest. Actually, it seems really comfy, it just seems really impractical at the exact same time. It seems like one of those beds you actually find in like find something like this. It's cool but impractical. I love him. He's just kind of like, yeah, I'm doing alright today. Better than I was yesterday. I was actually had a splitting headache last night. I'm better. I'm actually glad you actually are doing fine as well. I like how it's kind of when, like, yeah, you lost a Utena, by the way, Toji. It's like, well, so did you. It's like, well, fuck, you got me there. Yeah, where is the car coming from? How do you show a button in between scenes? Where where did the car come from, and how did his shirt become unbuttoned? Does his shirt become unbuttoned for those specific moments? This is an aesthetically pleasing road. Oh yes, now his shirt's buttoned back up. Of course it is, Toji. I believe you. Yeah, didn't he abandon him at one point? Like dead ass. Good point. Did anything really ever happen? That's the real thing. Did anything ever happen? Oh yes, the wind. It's always the wind. I kind of love how everything's being revealed as the shirts become unbuttoned slowly as well. It's impressive. It's like, yeah, by the way, here's some context of the entire plot. By the way, we're unclothed now. It's like, all right. You can't do that on a car. It's impossible. I do not believe for a second anyone can actually just sit in a car shirtless and actually not get pulled back by the G-force. Bruh. Apparently physics don't work if you're actually hot. Seaweed boy. Isn't it also kind of ironic that the entirety of where Anthony actually spent her time along with Utena as well is literally a glass cage? You would actually otherwise put a bird or a rose inside. Thus kind of exemplifying the idea that everything in this is actually kind of trapping. Bruh. Can't hit Mickey like that. He's actually kind of cool. I guess I actually was wrong about the whole entire idea of well, Sanji actually getting a redemption arc. He dashed my dreams in like 25 minutes. I was like, oh, Sanji might get a redemption arc. Who knows? No. God fucking damn it. Yeah, no one finished someone else's pudding, to be honest. That's actually kind of like, that's bad. That's bad vibes. I secretly just want a redemption arc for my seaweed boy, alright? Secretly want a redemption arc. Here we go. Here we go. You'd think after the third time at this point, Sanji actually would get the picture and be like, yeah, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Auntie's just kind of there, like, even though she's smiling, she's just kind of like, fuck, this again. Oh shit! They got a lift. You just kind of like, fuck yes, I don't actually have to go up these stairs anymore. So yeah, we installed this lift like in the middle of that arc last time. No one noticed, but we did actually do that. I like it. Do you actually kind of like the songs actually more apocalyptic now than beforehand? Even beforehand, you're kind of like, wow, shit, this is actually kind of dark. It's constantly juxtaposed with them got the pair of stairs, and you're like, well, these lyrics are a bit hard-hitting. And it's like, that's even more hard-hitting now. Car. I shall beat you with this car. It's like, sir, you will not. Well, this whole entire thing will be solved. Actually, stop being a dick. Let's be real. Well, theoretically speaking, it's not wrong about her having no will, because technically the Rose Bride doesn't have a will, theoretically speaking. Huh. Cars. You learn how to do the absolute drift. You actually see around corners now, that's the thing. So long as you actually went in that car, and actually now you can see around corners. The BGM do be really cool, I do agree. I love them just standing there, watching. It's like me when I see drama. Anthony's is kind of like, yeah, this is a problem, Utena. A massive one. Bra moment. And I feel like this whole entire show is very theater-ish as well. I hear a lot of people say that sometimes anime is kind of over the top and emotions tend to be kind of exaggerated. But I kind of feel like this show specifically, it feels very like as if it came from the theater. It has that kind of level of like, I guess intimacy, if you get what I mean? Than films do. Sword. Cars. Who wins? Who wins? It's like, fuck, it's Dios. Once again. Yo, he did the drift. He did multi-track drifting. God, Sanji's got fucking ran over. Holy shit. Man down. They're like, fuck yeah, we won. There's just Sanji dying on the floor. Wait a minute. What's going on here, lads? This doesn't seem very schoolmanship. They get up to that shit in school. It's not very PG of you. Wait, who really won the duel though? Was it Utena or fucking the car? Just... Bruh. Poor Anthony in this whole entire show. Poor Anthony. Ooh. Ooh. I respect I respect them for just being like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it here. I was like, alright. Oh man. It's just like that's not something you do in school, guys, and unless your whole entire school's basically your fucking, pardon the pun, your fucking bed, I guess. Well, that was certainly a thing that happened in 25 minutes, I must admit. That was quite a lot. He really started his arc like, yeah, bro, we're doing it. Full steam ahead. Sergeant got fucking ran over as well. There's also a community place ambulance going past, which is actually great as well. I'm just still trying to figure out who won the duel though. Was it Anthony or was it Anthony Utena or was it the fucking car? Because the car ran him over. So by that logic, the actual car's the winner. So then does the car become a part of the whole entire thing? Does he actually gain a ring to actually then fight for the end of the world? Who knows? That's the thing. We don't know. I answer questions. They must be answered at some point in time. Ah. Fuck's sake, Mickey. Everyone's like, well, you know what? Fuck it, we'll just fight again. It's like, well, alright. I guess. Oh shit, there's less clothing in the next thumbnail as well. There's less clothing. Everyone's progressively losing clothing in this show. I love it. I was like, you know what? Clothes? Do we need those? Pfft, no. Come on, Funimation, go for your logo. There we go. Alright, let's stop that. Let's reset that. Let's put on to actually watching episode 26. 26. Can't spell episode. It's one of those things I just couldn't spell episode. I was like, why can't I spell episode? Anyway, it's episode 20. Oh shit. 26. There we go. So 26 in 3, 2, 1. Is that? Let's can't speak. Let's watch episode 26. Absolutely now. So I can't speak today, apparently. My brain do be stopping. But yeah, I mean, I guess who needs battles when we actually have a car that actually can just reach the end of the world and just be like, bro, this is the shit. This is what you'd be seeing. Utena do be the best though. I do agree. It's like Utena, I've seen the end of the world. It's like, what's there? Cable. It's like, holy shit. We get HBO Max over there. Honestly, that'd be probably worth fighting for. If they were like, bro, you get infinite supply of HBO Max and all cable television. Maybe even some, let's throw in some internet in there as well. I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll fight for the end of the world. Might be a lackey in the end. Might not be what it's out to believe. I might only get like Peacock or something like that. But still, it's the thought of getting HBO Max. That's what keeps me going. But then, yeah, but are we still disregarding that Nanami actually became a cow for a little while? That did happen, and I wasn't dreaming that whole entire episode happening. That was the thing that took place at one point in time. That wasn't like, I'm going nuts here, am I? Sometimes I actually feel like I'm actually losing my mind. I feel like I imagine things. It's like, is it Streisand effect? I think, isn't it called, or is it the Mandela effect? One of the two. Now, place your bets on how much clothing they will actually have on. Bit difficult there, bro. Bruh. Kinda not. Have fun. Kinda not good, is it? It's not good. It's not good. What happened? Oh. See, the thought process was there, but the execution? Maybe not so great. Yeah, that won't hurt. Just do a backflip. It'll be fine. See? Nothing happened. So in the one show where the girl exploded when she fell from a 2 feet tall fall. I was like, wow. Not too sure that's what happens, but there you go. The birds be okay though. That's the main thing. I was gonna say, besides this whole entire place being actually excessively pleasing as well, this place is actually quite dangerous. I've forgotten the whole entire stampede of animals as well that happened at one point, and a boxing kangaroo. I want to be Choo Choo the entire time. Choo Choo's just vibing. Was that polite though? Was that polite? How does Choo Choo actually become a balloon though? That's the real question. I do appreciate how, like, the agency of the characters is so leaving them as well. The idea that actually now they're basically pawns, they're not actually anything more than that. I kind of find that aspect quite fascinating, because again, it does the double-edged effect that originally it's like as if they're fighting with something they believe in, even though the cause of it might not be the greatest, and stuff like that. But now it's sort of headed in the realm of, like, now they're just pawns to this whole entire game. Which they originally were, practically speaking, but even more so now. Everyone's so emotional in this show. Pretty private, actually. Pretty private. Hello, hello, how's it going? They fall to the bed so, like, dramatically as well. They fall so dramatically. just realised there's actually no lift in this place anymore. Why is there more chairs now? It's the abundance of chairs. This place has become like a place of just random shit happening. Beforehand, it was the goddamn baseball game. Now it's a fucking a lot amount of chairs. That is very valid, actually. If someone tells you that's for your own good, you're like, bruh, get the fuck out of here. Nanami just having time of her life. Old Nanami. Tree trunk. Ooh. Ooh. That do be a very lower glasses moment. Have you lowered the glasses kind of dealio? Shit, it's none of me. Not that she fell from a goddamn 2-story building. That would fucking hurt. If you're actually talking about emotional baggage these characters actually do in theory possess at this point, I think Nanami has the largest amount of it, because A, she has the complex about her brother, B, she might actually have feelings for her brother, C, she became a cow at one point, and D, just Nanami in general. It still does feel very like as if it came from a what's the name of that word? Came from an actual kind of theatre. It feels very theatrical, but it's also not the correct. Is that a correct term? Theatrical. He's got a baby chicken wind-up toy. How evil. How evil. Acting pretty sus, boy. This feels very much like the Black Rose saga, to be honest. It does kind of have a tale of a kind of feel to it, actually, the more I think about it. All it needs is a lot amount of freeze frames and zoom ins. It's a mythical car. Okay, but what does this shirt become undone every single time it actually appears, though? Where's it even going to? Is there a door it can fit through? Does it abide by our laws of physics? Are there laws of physics in this show? That's the real question. Also, it was a pretty sweet ride, to be honest. This is kind of interesting. Oh. Toga said Toji, I can't remember now. I said Toga, I said Toji, I meant Toga. I can't even remember now, what's the problem? Does he do that every single time though? Does he actually have to jump in front of the car every single time? Ow. I can't remember if I actually said Toga or Toji. I'm trying to remember now. If I did actually say originally Toji, I mean Toga. I don't know why my brain said Toji. Oh shit. The real question is how mythical that car actually truly is. Does it actually reach places that we don't actually know in this world? I guess the real question is now, is that how does the car get to the top? It's questions. The show raises. There we go. Fuck. I guess the kind of cool thing is at least they actually put a lift. At least everyone's actually using a lift, I guess, as well. No one has to actually walk up the stairs. So imagine by the time you get the stairs, you'd be like, fuck. You won't have time to fight, you just fall over. Also, extreme lack of clothes as well, to be honest. Extreme lack of clothes in this show now. So everyone got the hint of being like, clothes aren't useful anymore, just kind of went along with it. car's there. The car's there. It's like Christine. The car Christine from the film Christine. Based on a book by Stephen King called Christine. I guess the running theme really do be the idea of like manipulation and everything like that, and the idea of like the desire, because the character desire is that thing that you always see in animes like this, relatively speaking. You always see the concepts of desire, and with the desire, I like how it kind of does, to a degree, look at that whole entire concept and actually weaponizes the idea. In essence, the desire the person has becomes their downfall. In essence, then, almost to a degree, it kind of does become weaponized. Yeah, this show's kind of like hit the stride up, like, you know, symbolism. Well, here's all the symbolism. You can't drive sideways. That's fucking impossible, alright? It's a contrasting of emotions. You're like, holy shit, she's actually driving sideways, and then it's like they just fight in the middle of it all. Everyone's be engaging in things that don't happen in schools. That'd don't be PG at all. Just kind of like, well, let's do this. Let's end this shit again. Oh, Kozue also got ran over. Well, kind of ran over. She crashed. I'm surprised you asked the question of what the fuck just happened. It is ironic though that they actually fall prey to the car at the end of it all as well. That's kind of ironic. It's a thing that actually kind of does allow them to see their desire firsthand, and actually fight for that desire is actually what brings them down in the end. Kind of is like it's the brutal irony of this whole entire anime in a way, because all of the character arcs that we have seen to a degree this whole entire time have always had a kind of very what's the word? Always had a very kind of ironic, that's the one. Ironic feel to it when it ends. It does. This show is like it's very it's wacky in nature but very deep in subtext. It's one of those shows you're kind of like, well, this show is wacky, but you're not kind of, wait a minute here. I see what you're doing, Ikuhara. I see what you're doing. Can't get one past me, my boy. I see that shit. But yeah, I mean, it's a very good opening to the arcs. It does sort of fall to the same kind of like feeling that we've had thus far. The idea of playing into one's desires. The idea was also echoed in the previous arc. And actually, the arc also kind of delved into the ideas of like desires and what we want, and actually what happened, and what we do to actually get said desire as well. And it kind of does theoretically then go into the idea of actually how, to a degree, it can be. Time was it? I guess we can. Let's go to 27 as well. Well, I was going to plan to do 27, I want to do 28, 29, 30 as well. I can't remember if I actually said Toga or Toji now. You know when you just kind of sit there going, did I say something? I can't remember if I said it. And it kind of bugs the hell out of me for ages. Kind of like, did I say that? If I did, I meant to say Toga. For some reason my brain just kind of put Sanji and Toga together. they're two bad dudes, and I put them both together. Right, I'll need to actually get 1 second more. There we go. Right, let's put episode 27 up. Let's put episode 27. The egg. Can I offer you an egg in this trying time? Right, watching episode 27. Right, and we actually are, as I always say, good to go. So start this thing in 3, 2, 1. Let's start this thing absolutely now. So yeah, I don't know. This arc is rich in subtext and very wacky in nature. Because on the one hand, it's one of those things that it does fall to the idea that the desire is the main thing that does drive a person forward, and actually can in theory be destructive as well. I kind of like that because again, it's not a necessarily new concept. I mean, also probably this show is from like 1998, so it's kind of new in that regard. But it's more or less the idea of like desire itself can in theory be destructive to the person, and actually can in theory lead to downfall. We've seen it plenty of times. The idea of actually how someone going after something can in theory actually lead to their undoing. But like how it does in theory look at that whole entire idea, but actually then takes agency away from the person, because it's not as if they're gonna get the desire, because they're gonna lose in the end anyway. They're just pawns. So I kind of like how I like what this show does. It kind of, as time goes on, lessens the agency these characters have. It is true. There's actually not a single episode or arc that actually is kind of boring. Every single arc does, theoretically speaking, advance something. May that be Toga's wacky adventures shirtless. May that be that, or may it be something else. It just constantly advances something. None of the episode though. None of the episode. Egg. It's actually be a really weird it's gonna be a really weird episode if it actually was about death and rebirth, considering we actually just finished off watching Evangelion as well. Egg. It's all about death and rebirth as well. No, she can't be a chicken now. This whole anime is just questioning whether or not Nanami's actually human or not. Well, she did become a cow, so it does make sense for her to question herself at some point. Oh god, he's still there. This poor boy. Just leave it be, dude. Don't be simping. Someone's plot to actually say, ah, she laid an egg. How is anyone gonna believe that? How's anyone gonna sit there and logically say, yes, none of you laid an egg. She is not human. I want to meet these people. I swear to God. I want to meet these people right now and be like, bro, how the fuck do you actually reach a conclusion so suddenly? Egg. Just such a weird, just such a weird anxiety to be like, ah, fuck you. Why are you carrying egg around, you weirdo? To be honest, I'd be vibing with a turtle, a chicken, and then also a frog. To be honest, they're cool animals. I'll be vibing with them. I do actually question how high some of the Ikuhara actually truly is. Egg. God, they actually make a question even more shit now. Every single time. No one's gonna say that. Anami's worried about the worst things in the world. She's kind of worried about being associated with a space alien for laying eggs. Which the first portal call would be, how the fuck can you lay an egg? And B, can you even lay an egg? There's so many questions. She fucking vanished. What's the door gonna be about this time? It's actually what's argument actually gonna show her at the end of the world? What's gonna be the car ride? It's like, in this world you actually can in theory lay eggs and no one actually bats an eye. So could in theory be good point. Should turn into account at one point. Because it could be an argument made about the whole adolescence idea, and breaking the egg could in theory be the idea of advancing to adulthood. I guess it's also kind of like, well, the flower gets destroyed at the end of the battle, so that could in theory be about like deflowering, essentially, the idea of losing innocence and actually then passing on to adulthood. So, well, none of you could in theory be experiencing some kind of like transition from being whatever age she actually is to being an adult. I don't fucking know. It's whole entire episode about her fearing people thinking she actually lays eggs. Jiro's gonna turn around and go, you fucking what? You actually have an egg? What the fuck, mate? What's going on here? I actually knew Tom actually meant ball as well. Because Gintama. Pretty heavy balls. It's got some heavy balls there. Big balls. I fucking adore this show, but sometimes it's just kind of like, Ikahara, what are you actually thinking? Ball. I actually wonder that as well. I actually wonder, I wondered the writing room just being like, you know what, lads, I've got it. An episode where Nanami experiences the idea of actually laying eggs. And the anxieties that come along with it. She drops it like, oh no, I'm a terrible mum. Well, at least he actually became, she's so scrambled over it. Good pun. I think someone comes along and just be like, oh, an egg, and actually just breaks it and makes an omelette out of it. What happens then? That's a good pun, I must admit. That's a good pun. Who's gonna be in the car? If they duel, who's gonna be in the car? Is it gonna be the egg? I gotta admit something, my dude. My dude, just sit down. This girl's gone beyond help. Just leave her be. Leave her to her own device at this point. She's beyond help. I actually think I need a whiskey after this. You could probably say her actual like personality has cracked. How did she have a... I don't ask a question. I'm not gonna ask the question. I refuse. Toga's just kind of like, the fuck, Nanami? What have you got a goddamn egg? You're laying eggs now? You're laying eggs now? This whole episode is so much to take in. Wait, hold it. No, Toga, fuck off. You could not have just said that you actually know women who lay eggs. Hold up. Dead ass is when you're not a girl who lays eggs. Considering that whole entire statement, he's met people who lay eggs. Women who lay eggs. I need these questions answered. My brain is like slipping. Please, love of God, say they're not actually gonna fucking duel. Come on, what's the duel gonna be about? I need a fucking whiskey. I'm losing the will to live. I'm losing the will to live. This can't be a duel. I honestly kind of just imagine like there's just like not enough cocaine in the world to actually sustain this whole entire episode and actually how it's made. He says it again so nonchalantly, like as if he actually knows women who lay eggs. Is he into that shit? Is that his kink? Is he a kinky motherfucker that actually likes women who lay eggs? Oh well, now she's just gonna start lamenting the idea of her leaving her egg behind. This is probably some euphemism for like adulthood, isn't it? This is some euphemism for adulthood. I swear to God, but it's like wrapped in such a goddamn weird episode that it's just like, Ikuhara, what are you trying to say here? Is Ikuhara kinky that he likes people who lay eggs? Oh, Zoji actually fucking cooked it. Oh no. Oh no. Zoji, say it ain't so. He deserves that, but this is like the weirdest time to actually do shit like this. Fucking seaweed boy. Please don't say it. I was gonna say if he, I swear to God, if he says I don't associate with women who actually lay eggs, I'm gonna be like, Sonji, stop. How do you know people who lay eggs? Just my brain. So who lays in bed like that? Just need answers. Just need answers. Good question, actually. Honestly, a very good question. The fuck is that? This would be like the only times in the world where I think to myself, you know what? Thank God actually is a dream. You know that? Bad times in life I think to myself, thank God, it's a dream. I don't know. Is because there. I kind of imagine there's a theme. There's an overarching like theme, like to the episode itself. The idea that adolescence is, I guess, a core of it to an extent. The idea of like that. That I guess you could interpret the idea of actually their desires being extinguished, being almost that loss of innocence and that loss of desire, and also subsequently then transition to adulthood, because it kind of like relinquishes them of their past, and actually then can grow into be an adult. Thus, then the flower breaking as well as the kind of signifying of a deflowering in that idea, I guess. Possibly, I don't know. That's just my interpretation thus far. But the egg breaking as well kind of does have a lot of meanings behind it, I guess. One could possibly be fertilization, though still does that. I don't know. Also, the idea that breaking one shell does actually then allow to actually kind of grow and actually then become someone better. That's also something else it could in theory be alluding to. I still think it's something to do with adolescence, because I still maintain that it is a loss of adolescence, and the idea is now they're actually going to become adults, in a way. Comment. I don't know why I do yawn. One of those moments where it's like, bro, my brain be stopping. I yawn for some reason. But yeah, I mean, it's weird, this episode overall, because it has either you kind of view it in the way it's like, oh yeah, this is symbolic of Nanami actually growing up and actually then becoming a woman in a way. But then it's just wrapped up in this really weird overarching narrative about her laying eggs. Because laying egg could in theory be signifying of the actual animal growing up, I guess, as well, because it's always like the transitional period. There's always the idea of, like, with a frog, it's the idea of them being a tadpole, then being a, was it a newt, then tadpole, then small frog, then frog, thus then laying eggs. Doesn't in theory actually kind of allow them to actually have their final transition. Thus, going to the idea that is the idea of growing up, and the idea then kind of does in theory stem back from other characters kind of losing their innocence in that way, and actually growing up, actually then changing as people. Because practically speaking, pretty much everyone has sort of to a degree changed ever since kind of going in Akio's car, I guess. That's the thing, because again, they're pawns, and they actually kind of are propelled forward by the desires, thus the desires themselves kind of being rendered useless by the end of the Horror episode, thus kind of them allowing to actually then grow up and actually then become adults. Thus the flower breaking. I don't know. That's just my interpretation thus far with the Haunter episodes, and then none of these ones are confusing part, because it could even be either adolescence and growing up, or something completely different I don't know about just yet. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents in the whole entire matter thus far. I do kind of view it in a sense that it is them growing up, thus, in that way. And actually once again, looking at the idea of manipulation, what this show does in theory actually kind of very much, to a degree, or not to a degree, but very, very overtly does explore. Because manipulation actually is kind of a key theme, because every single arc has had this idea that every single character actually has been manipulated by something, actually then kind of drive them forward, actually then do the bidding of someone else, which actually then does in theory send back to Utena and Anthe to a degree as well, because you could in theory in arc 1 interpret that Anthe was only being manipulated by Utena to say the things she was saying. It wasn't all true in the end, so on and so forth. That's just my interpretation. I've got to sit on this show for a lot longer because, again, arcs do in theory like juxtapose certain themes quite well. I do enjoy what it's doing. It's doing some very good things thus far, and I actually can't wait to see what else arc will in theory do. Actually, other crazy shit that none of you actually will get up to as well. So yes, do look out for these streams a bit more often as time goes on. I will actually finish this off before the end of August, hopefully. So until then, if you actually have enjoyed the stream, then, as always, do leave a like, because it does help quite a bit. If you have then enjoyed this whole entire stream, as always, then do leave a sub as well, because both do help quite a lot. If you have then enjoyed this whole entire stream, as always, do leave a follow on Twitter as well, because both do help quite a lot. You will then know which is live and any other streams do as well. So next time, some more Revolutionary Girl Utena. I'll see you guys then. Bye for now.